Alright, so I'm gonna start off by saying one of the best finds I found, and it was from some of the comments, are these Envirologs. They basically come in a green box of packages of 6. They're right about 15 bucks. I'm not endorsing this company or any other company for that matter. I just think these things work. At first, figuring out how to cut them apart, and it's really hard. They, it's not like you take a saw. I tried that, it didn't work. The best thing to do is start your fire with a little piece of paper. It's kind of waxy paper, it lights good. And I take off a little hunk of this, and I just throw it on top of that paper, and then I take some of my little dry kindling wood that I've been just building up from around the shop here and working. And once I get those things TP'd in there and get a good airflow, this is basically just little pine slivers, nothing great. Where the magic happens, I think, at least with me in this experiment so far, so that if you burn a fire at night, like say at 10 o'clock, and you're going to bed and you want to burn slow and hot, these Envirologs are really good. They do burn slower and hotter and cleaner, so less cleaning here. But the key, if you can find the combination, is I come from a place that has a lot of hard wood, so I can slice these up into discs. And when you lay the discs like this, and you kind of pyramid them a little bit, once this gets going and the embers get going, it'll cook these things from the inside out, and these things really, to me, are the key. So good hardwood, not all the time we have access to it. Up here in Idaho we have aspens that are best options, so that'll burn way quicker than this, but way better than pine and some of the other stuff. But if you do have access, start filling up crates of this stuff. I go to my local, I don't want to call it a dump. It's where anytime we have a storm in Southern California, which I plan on leaving soon, so this hardwood's going to go away. But they cut all these trees down and branches because if they're dangerous to people in parks, and they just load them up in this huge gated-in place where they have all the city trucks coming in and out of. So I just basically asked them, can I go back there and pull some of the branches and the roots and the trees out? And they said, sure. That's where I got my manzanita for the bed. And it's like a gold mine. And I just take them back home and slice them and put in the discs, not logs, and then into discs because of the heat release. And I mean, it's cement. This is really good stuff. So this is what's been getting me through the night. I wake up, a few nights I've woke up here and we were 0 outside, and I had to get the covers off me. So this little stove, which really wasn't doing it for me last fall, is doing it for me now. I actually bought a Mr. Heater Buddy, the medium one with the camouflage. I think it's like 1400 BTU. That I haven't even pulled out yet for warmth. I pulled it out once to wash my wife's hair, and because it was cold that day and I wanted her to be able to dry it off like a hair dryer, and she's got really thick hair, so worked out well. But let me get this fire started, and I think that's the way I would go if I were you, and still keep some of these little slivers of pine from extra, from your scraps from whatever you are building. And they're good. It's kind of nice not to have to throw those away either. And basically, it lights right up and fast. So there's little wax particles, I think, on this cardboard stuff. And I think the wax obviously helped feed the fire. Yeah, I do have tools. I should probably use them. But I wasn't thinking I needed to do a fire for a while because we had a couple days of warm weather. I actually went for a swim. And now it's dumping again. Anyways, we have some open ice, and I figured I'd get the muscles all unsore. I'll post that video some other time if I have the courage to. Hear a grown man scream. but it was a neat experience, and it did help everything that was ailing. So that's it. Once this gets going and it gets really nice and hot and those embers start glowing, then I slide these guys in, and that sucker will keep me going for a long time. So it's a combination of a bunch of things, at least what I've found. And all three things are good and necessary. You don't have to have this, but if you do, it sure makes life easier and warmer. There we go. Whoops, wrong way. And hopefully I found these little cast iron pans. I can get some eggs going this morning, or an egg. Maybe I can fit 2 in there. Someone's got to teach me how to dislodge these bars without mangling them. I mean, I'm free to punch them through the bottom, and then I get a bigger fan in there. Is this gonna work? Is that gonna fit? Oh, good. Yep. So that's it. I'm really even more pleased. This is the Grizzly, not the Cub. I'm in a 200 square foot cabin here, so this is just the final wrap on the last video that I did, that people had some questions, and I wanted to make sure I got back here and really put it to the test. And I've been here since mid-March, and we've had plenty of days under 0 Fahrenheit. So I think there was a 10 below day, and this thing did okay. And last year, I gotta tell you, I had a few cold nights, so I'm happy to report 2 thumbs up. And it's great for marshmallows too. Perfection. Don't get any cozier than this. Guys, I'll take care out there.